Good day to the brothers of the mighty Eastern region. It's your Vice Regional Director, the brother Devon Henry, coming at you with another membership moment. I have the pleasure to have your fearless leader, our fearless leader, the 25th Regional Director, the Honorable Brother Leonard O. Lockhart. He's here today, and we're going to talk about something that's going around in the region, throughout the country really, but we wanted to get some more clarification around a topic, and that topic today is chartering of alumni chapters. So, Brother Lockhart, thank you for joining us on the membership moment today.
Thank you for having me, Brother Henry.
Absolutely. So, we want to talk about, in just the, in the most simplistic terms, what are the requirements when you want to charter a new alumni chapter?
By our national constitution, you have to have 5 brothers in order to charter an alumni chapter, collegiate chapter for that matter as well. What I look for is, one, is there a need within that particular area?
Yep.
I also look at the skill set of the brothers. How many state meetings have they attended? How many regional conferences have they attended? How many conclaves have they attended? Are they prepared to take on new collegiate chapters right away? I look at the total package, and I look at the total need within the area, but also I look at if there's any chapters in the area, number one, or if the area is vacated. If the area is vacated, then it's wide open for them to set claim. If it's an area that's already been settled by another charter and it's covered by their charter application, then there's some discussions on how that particular chapter can sponsor them to be a part of the area, or to lock them out of the area and have them go into another area that borders their territory.
So, in the most simplistic terms, by the national constitution, you have to have 5 new members, but it has to come through, not necessarily 5 new members, but 5 brothers that want to start a new charter in an area. And you take a look at that area, you take a look at who's in the area, the community that's going to serve, as well as the existing chapters in that area.
Correct.
Now, you touched on something that I want to just kind of get a little bit more information on. You said you want to make sure they've gone to conclaves, you want to make sure they've gone to regional conferences. What's the thought process behind that?
Well, in order, as for alumni brother, we're expecting our alumni brother to be a well-seasoned set of group of brothers that can lead the communities and lead the face of Sigma. And quite frankly, we have a lot of brothers during this centennial year that are coming home back to Sigma, that have been out of Sigma for a numerous amount of years. And the Sigma that they left is not the Sigma that they're coming home to. So we want to make sure that we update them in the policies and procedures, update them with our membership intake program, update them with our anti-hazing any program that we got going on that's prevalent to the basic operation of our chapters. We want to make sure that they have their skill set. And if they don't, we don't want them to stop them from getting their charter. But at the same time, if we know that's the case, then I assign them some type of a mentor to help guide them along after they get their charter.
Okay, okay. So in other words, you just don't want brothers that's been out the fold, don't know what's going on within the fraternity, to try to come back and say, hey, I've been out the fold for 15 years, but now I want to start a new chapter, because they don't really know what's going on, what's the latest and greatest, what's the new things, how the fraternity has been operating since they've been gone, which is an excellent point. But so I see that point, but I have to ask you another question. How does the other existing chapters in that area play a role in that thought process, as if they can get a charter put in that area?
Well, if there's a charter that's already designated for that area, that is the area that they're responsible for based on our fraternity charter application. So they're responsible for that area. So to plop another chapter on top of them, there have to be some consent based off that chapter. Typically, when a new charter comes on board, there should be a sponsoring chapter that sponsor them or recommend them. And we do have that with alumni chapters, and we also have that with collegiate chapters, where there should be a sponsored chapter that supports them coming in. And as far as process, as soon as a charter application comes forth, our regional constitution, we are required to send notice to each of the chapters in that state to put them on notice that there is a charter application. This is not for them to lobby a vote, but just to gather their opinion on the particular charter application, whether it is the sole decision of the regional director whether the charter is placed or not.
I think that kind of gives us a nice overview of what the decision-making process is, what the national constitution says, how our regional director sends out information to the existing chapters that are in the area, It gives us a nice overview of here's what you need to do and here's what the requirements are when you're looking to charter a new chapter. So, Brother Lockhart, I thank you for your time. I thank you for your leadership.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you, good brother.
Thank you, Brother Vice.
Yeah. And that's going to be a nice segue into coming on in here, brother. We got Brother Kenyon Hay.
Yes.
Brother Kenyon Hay, who is actually the president of the newest alumni chapter in the Eastern region, Pi Theta Sigma chapter. Brother Hay, can you give us a little background on yourself, when did you come in the organization, and your role in the chapter?
Yes, my name is Brother Kenyon Hay. I had the extreme pleasure of being initiated into this organization April 6, 2013 by the Delta Iota Sigma chapter, which is the alumni chapter here in New Haven, Connecticut. Occupationally, I am a deputy sheriff for the state of Rhode Island, but I live in New London, Connecticut, and I just find it a complete honor for me to be a part of this organization.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you for joining us on this latest installment of the Membership Moment. One of the things that I wanted to just open up with is, you know, you came in 2013, but obviously we've had conversations, and I know you're a seasoned brother. What was going through your head, or the other group of brothers that came in that started the chapter that said we need a chapter here in this area?
Well, there were a lot of members of this organization who were in New London. They just never bragged about Sigma. They were just so concerned with the work. They had a passion for the community and a passion to do the work. We had Bishop Benjamin Watts, who is the bishop of Shiloh Baptist Church. And he also has a school that's a part of his church. We have Pastor Larry DeLong, who runs a block party every year, who's also probation chief. And many other brothers in the area who just wanted to serve the community. They were more concerned with serving the community rather than getting any credit. So many great men of Sigma were doing the work, but there was no way that Sigma knew about it because they weren't concerned with the publicity aspect of it. They were concerned with doing the work. We wanted to have Sigma's presence known and felt in the New London, Connecticut area. There are many brothers who either due to their schedule and location couldn't travel to New Haven because their schedules were permitted, but were still doing the work. So we wanted a way to get all of those brothers involved as well.
Sure, sure. So, how many brothers were on the charter when you guys initiated the new chapter?
We have 5 brothers on the charter. Would that be an name?
Sure.
It's myself, Kenyon Hay, Bishop Benjamin Watts, Pastor Larry DeLong, Brother Derek Williams, and Brother Lawrence Washington.
Okay, so those brothers were all either members of Delta Pi Sigma or Delta Iota Sigma?
With exception to Lawrence Washington, yes.
Okay, all right. So you 5 brothers came together and said, hey, New London has a need for Sigma. We're not in Hartford, we're not in New Haven, we're in New London. We need a presence here. And so who initiated the thought process, or who got the ball rolling to say, can we get a charter here in New London?
It started with a brother which lived in New Haven lived in New London, by the name of Luther Wade.
Okay.
He really had the passion to get things started, but due to certain events and certain things, as you know, life happens.
Absolutely, absolutely.
He was not able to at the time. He was the person who introduced me to Sigma.
Wow.
It was because of him that I'm a Sigma now. I expressed interest in him. He sat down with me and told me about Sigma and showed me his passion for it. He started the initiative and instilled that into me, and I just thank God that I was able to get that initiative going and get the brothers going. So Brother Luther Wade was the one who instilled it into me, and I was able to canvass the brothers in the area and say, is this something that we really want to go forward? Because once we go forward,
right,
you know, there's no stopping. And they said, yes, let's do this. They emailed me, they called me, I'll meet you, let me know what paperwork can be filled out, let me know how much money we need, and we got the ball rolling. So it was actually thanks to Brother Luther Wade.
Awesome. And so you're currently the chapter president,
Yes,
right? How many brothers are in your chapter now?
How many brothers? On paper, we have 6 brothers right now, with another 5 in the area who intend to join by the end of the year,
Awesome.
which will bring us at about 13. And I just want to point out something. The Pi Theta Sigma chapter being in New London, Connecticut, now means that Phi Beta Sigma is the only National Pan-Hellenic Council organization in New London County currently.
Oh, wow.
So in that region, Phi Beta Sigma can have the title of being the only current chapter in New London County.
So you bring up a good point, being the only from the Pan-Hell in the New London area. How have you guys reached out to the community, or how has the community embraced the chapter?
Two.
An event I mentioned earlier was the block party and book bag drive started by Miracle Temple. The pastor is Pastor Larry DeLong, who I mentioned is one of our charter brothers. We've contacted, and we were continually in contact with multiple donors, multiple organizers to raise money to get book bags for the community, for people who couldn't afford school supplies. Not only did they get book bags, but the book bags were filled with folders, notebooks, toothbrushes, floss, just things to help them, you know, as they're going back to school. We also had a barber come in and get free haircuts, which is a big deal for a lot of kids looking for barbers. And we had a hairdresser come in as well. Plus many other independent businesses came with just tables to hand out, you know, flyers to promote their business. It was a great way for the community to get involved and the community to see Sigma, especially since we were also on the grill, so anyone that wanted food had to walk by and see us.
Yeah.
So they saw us not only serving food, but they saw us doing the rides, they saw us talking to kids, they knew we were there.
So this sounds like an awesome event. What was the impact? How many book bags did you guys end up giving out?
Approximately about 500 book bags, and we're still getting donations.
500?
500 book bags.
And you guys are a new chapter that just started just did this event this year. You were chartered in what, March of this year?
March 4th, 2014.
And you do an event and able to give out 500 book bags to the community. That's a way that you come in and you make your mark. Let me ask you, how has the existing chapters that are there, Delta Iota Sigma, Delta Pi Sigma, how have they embraced you guys, and how has that relationship been?
Well, seeing as how I came in spring 13, relatively new, there was a lot that had to be done in kind of short period of time to get the chapter established. They were the ones who taught me, especially Delta Iota Sigma, were the ones who taught me about the proper paperwork, the proper funds and the proper fees, where to go, you know, either online to get the paperwork, who to call to make sure everything was in order, how to get brothers together, the amounts that each brother would need, you know, things like that, dues, chapter taxes, how to set up a constitution. Delta Iota Sigma taught me that, members of Delta Iota Sigma. Delta Pi Sigma helped too, and I thank both of them for that, but Delta Iota Sigma was the main conduit through which we came through and set up our chapter in London.
So it's been a pretty harmonious relationship.
Yes, it has.
There's been no tension where, you know, a new chapter coming in play. You know, sometimes folks will feel like they're embarking on a territory where they've been for, you know, forever. So basically, they've got the chapters that have been existing. They've just kind of gave you guys, you know, welcomed you guys with open arms, no issues.
Absolutely. I got phone calls saying, I got your back, let me know what you need from members of different chapters. We'll definitely look forward to networking with you. Let me know how I can help you. What programs are you doing? I want to let my chapter know. There's just been great harmony for that.
Awesome. And so in closing, brother, I'm going to give you the opportunity to just give you a few seconds and say, what are some of the things that your chapter is looking to do in the near future, and you know, how has it been in the centennial year? How have you been enjoying the centennial year?
I love the centennial year. It was great for me coming in spring 13 for my first Founders Day to be our centennial Founders Day, our centennial year. That was amazing. Going down to DC, meeting brothers from all over the country, embracing me like family. I truly saw what Sigma was about. And my name's on the monument, by the way, so I get to be a part of history, which is a pleasure. One of our key programs, like I said, in addition to the book bag drive, we are also participating with chapters from New York in what is known as the Clean Water Campaign, where we'll be collecting bottles of water to send to a country in South Africa. Sent to a country in Africa, excuse me, particularly South Africa. There was a brother who already has a connection with a packaging company and a shipping company. Our initiative on it is just to collect cases of water to fund this effort. And that's a Clean Water Campaign. And coming soon in about October, we'll be doing the Sigma Blue Note Jazz Night. Just a night of poetry, expression, and jazz for the people of the area, for the city of New London.
Brothers, in a short period of time, it sounds like you guys, Pi Theta Sigma, have really made an impact in the community. I applaud you and I commend you for the work that you guys are doing. I think this is a great example of how when a new chapter is chartered, particularly an alumni chapter, when there's existing chapters, how they can come together, how they can work together, and how they can move the body and move the world of Sigma in that community. So, brother, thank you very much for joining us.
This is another PBS East production. To find out more information about the mighty Eastern region of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, visit us at www.pbseast.org or on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and Pinterest. Thank you and have a blessed day.